good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 7, Episode 51, 2024 Drone Holiday Gift Guide. Hope everyone is doing well, and welcome to the last, quote-unquote, real live session for the year, because the next 2 weeks, they're pre-recorded sessions that you'll be seeing. One is the 2 best drones of the year. That's coming up next week on Christmas Eve. And then on New Year's Eve, there's going to be another episode as well, one of the better episodes from this year. I tried to pick one that had a lot of views and had a lot of comments. So that's what's coming up the next 2 weeks. The next live one will be in 2025. So just wanted to start everybody off and know that, just so you know what's going on. I just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. Got a full house. You guys were here, like super early tonight. That's awesome. Michael Wright is here. Jody Drone Shots. Let's see who else. David Martin Graff. Steve Janess is here. Let's see, Akarasho. Who else we got? Jim Fieldler. Welcome, Jim. Dr. Ted is in the house. Art is here. Jaybird is here. Richard is here. Let's see who else. Lauren is here. Welcome, Lauren. Joe America. Welcome, Joe. Let's see. Who else we got? We really got a full house tonight. Merry Christmas to all. Absolutely, Dr. Ted. Captain Ray. Welcome, Captain Ray. Good to see you. John Flynn. Welcome, John. Let's see what else we got. Mario. Welcome, Mario. Thank you for stopping in tonight. Sleek Hobbies RC. Welcome. Wow. Greg Pittman. Welcome, Greg. Wow. Got a very full house tonight. We're going to go over the gift guide. That's going to be towards the latter part of the show. You guys will want to stay tuned for that, because I put a lot of effort into that. I want to make sure that this is something that will really be worthwhile, and it is. I went through this with a fine-tooth comb this afternoon, so we will present something to you that will really be good. So we're looking forward, personally, on a personal note. I'm going to share more towards the end of the show, but this weekend, my daughter, son-in-law, and granddaughters will be coming down, and they're staying for the week, and we are just like super duper excited about that. So we can't say enough about that. We're really looking forward to it. We're really looking forward to good health. She's overcome she's had a pretty good head cold, and she's on the tail end of that, thankfully. I went to the doctors today just to make sure. I got tested for everything, and I'm fine. Just put me on some preventative antibiotics just in case. I have a tendency to get ear infections anyway. So, but we're going to all be fine for this Christmas. That's my request this year. That's my big gift, is to be healthy this year for Christmas. As a lot of you know, we were down and out last year for Christmas, both Valerie and I. It was horrible. And then 3 days after Christmas, my Tundra comes in. I didn't have a choice. I had to go pick it up, and I'm still I was better than I was Christmas Day, but wow. Okay. All right. Got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to take a look at some things. I'm going to take a look. Jasper Ellens has been quite busy, so we're going to take a look at some of that. And then we have DJI kind of put out a guide today, and that was on Drone DJ. We're going to kick off that segment of the show with that, and then we're going to look at what we've come up with, and we're going to talk about that. So look forward to that. That's coming up towards the other end of the part of the show. Now, everybody knows there has been so much talk about the New Jersey drone sightings. Okay, it's just been through the roof with that. Okay, and I have 3 articles, actually 4 technically, that I want to share with you guys. Okay, and this goes to show you, and I wanted to say something about this. So I've seen a lot of videos, I've seen a lot of things on this and everything, and people have their different flavors on this, and I get it and I understand. But one thing that I want to say is this. That old story, and it's true, where a teacher would line up, say 10 students, and he would tell a story to the first student, and they were to share it to the next student, and so forth down on the line. And by the time he got to the 10th student, it was completely different from the original story. And that's what I equate to this here too. I think, a lot of this has been exaggerated, so to speak. And let's go over, there's 3 articles on Drone DJ. We're going to go over these here, and I want to talk about them. And then there was a statement by someone, and I'm gonna read that in its entirety as well too. So we're gonna start this off now. The first one is actually, it's a warning from the FBI, and the FBI warns, stop pointing lasers, shooting at suspected drones. Okay, misidentification could be deadly. FBI Newark and New Jersey State Police stress in a joint statement. FBI Newark, New Jersey State Police, and dozens of other agencies and law enforcement partners have been out every night for several weeks to legally track down operators acting illegally or with nefarious intent, and using every available tool and piece of equipment to find the answers the public is seeking. However, there could be dangerous and possibly deadly consequences if manned aircraft are targeted mistakenly as drones. The agencies warned that what might appear to be a drone could actually be a manned aircraft, a low-orbit satellite, or even a celestial body like a planet or a star. All right. Misidentification of aerial objects at the heart of the growing public frenzy. Many New Jersey residents reported sightings of drones, some describing them as unusually large and hovering near sensitive areas like military installations and critical infrastructure. However, federal authorities have determined that many of these sightings are either lawful commercial operations or simply cases of mistaken identity. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Now, there's been a surge in laser incidents here. Laser incident involving military pilot has added urgencies to the FBI's warning. While the pilot is expected to recover, apparently it was shined in a pilot's eyes, and it can damage eyes. I mean, it's deadly with that. And that's one thing. And then intensified efforts to solve New Jersey drone mystery. For weeks, FBI Newark, New Jersey State Police, dozens of other law enforcement agencies were working tirelessly to investigate the reports. Despite these efforts, the origins and purpose of many drone sightings remain unknown. Out of over 5,000 reported sightings in recent weeks, only a fraction have warranted deeper investigation. Okay. To prevent further public misidentifications, officials recommend using resources such as mobile apps and websites that track flight paths for manned aircraft, satellites, and visible celestial bodies. These tools can help individuals verify whether what they see in the sky is a drone or something else entirely. Adding to the mystery are sightings near sensitive locations, including military installations, like the Piccananti Arsenal. Okay. Now we're going to go on to a second article here. And this was in Drone DJ as well. Let me go ahead and share that. Former DJI exec reveals the truth behind New Jersey drone mystery. Okay. Brendan Schulman, and you remember Brendan was still employed with DJI. He's now he's vice president of policy at Boston Dynamics, and that's a robotics firm up in Boston, Massachusetts. We had Brendan on the show, and he was a fantastic guest. Absolutely loved him. He was great. Schulman argues that the New Jersey drone sightings could likely be explained by a combination of factors, including routine commercial aircraft, misidentified drones, and even hoax videos. Some people are indeed seeing drones, Schulman said, but he believes many of the sightings are of commercial aircraft, often observed at night by individuals unfamiliar with navigation lights and other features of air traffic. Schulman also highlights that this phenomenon mirrors similar incidents in the past, such as the drone sightings at Gatwick Airport in 2018 and Colorado in 2020. While these events caused significant disruption at the time, they ultimately turned out to be much less sinister than initially suspected. In case of New Jersey, the fact it's one of the busiest airspaces in the U.S. and that many of the reports involve misidentified aircraft only adds to the confusion here. Local authorities have expressed concerns over the potential dangers posed by these mysterious drones, especially given their proximity to military sites. However, as Schulman points out, drones are frequently misidentified, and many of the reported sightings could simply be overblown by the media and the public. Indeed, many videos circulating in social media have been shown either hoaxes or edited footage, further complicating the situation. It says, additionally, government officials have voiced frustrations over the lack of concrete evidence. The Department of Defense, for example, say that it had not been able to identify the operators of the drones or trace their points of origin. This has led to calls for better tracking technologies and more transparency from federal agencies. Okay. Schulman suggests that some of the recent uptick in sightings could also be attributed to drone operators who are now being deployed to investigate the sightings themselves, thereby creating a feedback loop of increasing activity. This, coupled with growing media attention, may be inflating the scale of the issue. Okay. In a larger context, Schulman reminds us that drone sightings in densely populated regions, especially those involving advanced technologies, are not entirely new. The ongoing public fascination with drones, combined with technological advancements and a bit of sensationalism, can often distort the reality of what is happening on the ground. Any supposed sighting of a drone requires data analysis before anyone reaches a conclusion, Schulman emphasizes. Okay. All right. We're going to stop right there for a minute here. Now, one of the things that we need to understand here, all right, what Brendan said, a lot of what Brendan says is true. In fact, all of what he says is true here. But one of the things is this, all right? Now, I'm going to go ahead out here, and I'm going to find that. I have that saved here. Where is it? Okay. I have this saved here. Now, many of you saw, and I want to preface what I'm about to say, and listen to me very carefully here. I'm not about to make a political statement. I want to be 100% crystal clear on this, all right? And I posted a video out on Bill the Drone Reviewer and on Bill the Drone Reviewer Facebook group and out on Twitter, and the video was from Fox News, and it was President Trump. Now, President Trump made a statement here, and I want to read the statement. Now, what I did was, in order to get it 100% accurate, I used the transcription feature from YouTube. All right. So these are his words exactly. I'm going to read it as is. And then I have a statement to make after that. So give me a second here. Let's go ahead and I'll share this. Okay. Finally getting answers, and got an answer from President Trump on drones. That was the title of the video from Fox News. President Trump said, "I canceled my trip to Bedminster." Now, this is a Q&A with a reporter here, and it was brief, but nonetheless, it was a Q&A. Hey, Ron.
Hello, Bill. How are you today?
Good. I'm about to read a statement from President Trump. President Trump said, "I canceled my trip to Bedminster." Reporter, can you comment on the drones? President Trump, "The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from, and they know where it went. For some reason, they don't want to comment, and I think they would be better off saying what it is. Our military knows, and our president knows. For some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they would blast it out. Even if they retaliate, they would blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell people, and they should, because people happen to be over Bedminster and are very close to Bedminster. Maybe I won't spend the weekend at Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip." Reporter, having received an intelligence briefing on the drones, President Trump, I don't want to comment. Okay. Now, one of the things that I want to add here before we talk about this here a little bit, former presidents, a couple things here. Former presidents, okay, and that will include all the presidents that are alive, even Jimmy Carter, even though he's 100 years old, they're entitled to get daily intelligence briefings. And that's not only from the NSA and the CIA. So that would be George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton. They're the two other presidents that are alive right now. They would get these on a daily basis. Also, in addition, President Trump, because he's a former, technically he's still a former president.
You forgot Obama.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And the other and Obama, they all get these briefings. All right. Now, President Trump, being a president-elect, he's entitled to get the same briefings that President Biden gets. All right. And this is by law. This is not, this is not Republican, Democrat, anything like this. He gets the same briefings that President Biden gets. All right. And they're from both the CIA and NSA. There's no gray area here. And the other thing I want to say about it is this. All right. And I know some people have already said, well, he's probably lying about this. Well, what does he have to gain by lying about something like this? Okay. he wants to get this out in the open and get it solved because it's causing a lot of people to be very upset. And he wants to see this taken care of right away. And I agree. I agree with him. So, what he says could very well be true. All right. Because if he's receiving these briefings, all right, they know what this is. I mean, it's one of the solutions, one of the things that I have heard that actually makes sense. Because, Ron, I just read a statement from Brendan Schulman, who used to be with DJI. All right.
Yes. I read it also, Bill.
And he made a lot of great points in this article. A lot of these things, and I know a lot of our fellow drone reviewers have said the same thing. Misidentified as aircraft because aircraft have running lights and strobe lights and other things, and or large drones. All right, like and they don't make it anymore. The DJI made the M600 Matrice, which was a huge drone. I mean, you needed a pickup truck to put the parts in this drone. Okay,
it still wasn't as big as an SUV.
Yeah, those arms were like almost 8 feet long. Okay, they're huge. Okay, and these are very big drones. They're agricultural drones that they have are huge. All right, so there's a lot of credence to a lot of this, and that makes a lot of sense. But also, what President Trump says makes a lot of sense as well too. Here's the thing for me. Let's get to the bottom of this. I mean, we're spending all this time, money, effort. And, a lot of people are getting upset. And I saw our good friend, Original Dobo, commented on somebody that says, well, if I see one of those, I'm going to shoot it out of the sky. And rightly so, he responded back, no, you don't shoot it out of the sky, or you're going to have a knock on your door and you're going to get arrested because that's against the law. It's a felony.
I won't, not to get political, I won't name, but a politician from New Jersey, last week suggested the shoot him out of the air. So, not all the political statements are helping.
Yeah. I mean, it needs to be put to bed, Ron. I mean, it's just we have enough going on right now. All right, without having to really have to worry about this. And I know I saw you did a great video. I didn't have a chance to comment on it, but you did a great video today on that.
I mean, people ask me, I haven't seen anything. I've been looking for more than a week now. Every time it's nice, I go out at night and I look. And I haven't seen anything, outside of normal. New Jersey probably has the most air traffic of almost any state in the nation. And I haven't seen anything except normal aircrafts. But let me ask you this question. I know, this is a bigger issue than just us hobbyist drone pilots. But if this ever all plays out and we learn all the details, will this have anything to do with hobbyist drone flyers like you and me?
I was thinking yes. And I was also thinking too, that somehow this may be tied in with what has been going on with Stefaniak and Congress and the banning CCP drones bill and all that. I'm thinking all this is tied in. I mean, it's like, it's strange coincidence. All right. Sometimes, when a coincidence seems too good to be true, it really is true. And I believe in this instance, you're right, Ron. Okay. This is all tied together. All right. They're trying to, because we have proved, the drone community has proved beyond a shadow of a doubt. All right. That DJI drones, we're not transmitting anything back to China. That has been their bedrock thing that they have been saying all along, and they don't. All right. And in fact, DJI removed any capability for doing that. So it's gone. It's not there anymore. All right. So what they're doing here is they're trying to make, let's make the drones look bad. All right. And this is what I think what's been going on in New Jersey. They're trying to make this all look bad, Ron. They're trying to make all of us look bad with this. And
you mentioned DJI. The majority of us hobbyists fly the DJI drones. And I know, President Trump does it, again, I'm not expecting to be up on all this stuff. He doesn't realize that 90% of us fly DJI drones, and that drone cannot fly over a bad mister. It would be a geozone. A DJI drone wouldn't even fly over his place.
Yeah.
So it would have to be if it was a drone, a consumer owned, it'd have to be the 10% of drones that aren't DJI in the U.S. as a consumer drone. But again, if it's true that these drones are as big as SUVs, they're not consumer drones.
No, no, they're not. Well, and here's a theory that I saw being floated around too, and I didn't want to publish it because I wasn't sure of the accuracy of this, but somebody said that some people have built drones like the Reaper drones, like the Air Force and Army have, and that's what's been going on around here, that they've been flying to, literally, like President Trump said, taking off out of the garage and landing right back in there. And who knows,
That's a whole lot of people with the capabilities to build Reaper drones, and this isn't one drone that's causing all these issues.
Oh, I know. And is it because and the article also suggested the fact that the Army sold some of these drones as surplus,
Okay.
that they weren't using, and I'm like, this sounds interesting, but I couldn't verify the source of this article, so that's why I didn't put any links or publish anything on it. But
right.
That's a possibility as well too.
Well, I mean, Bill, as far as I know now, somebody correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. There hasn't been 100% confirmed sighting of any of these drones in New Jersey. I mean, like we don't have a video that's been verified or a picture that's been verified by an expert, or they haven't found a down drone. There's no evidence that these drones exist that go past in court, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I mean, we're not even at the point where, we're still. I mean, if this was 15 years ago, these would be UFOs, right? Because we wouldn't have the drone in our parlance yet. So these
the
mid
1960s. You just hit the nail on the head, Ron. You and I were very much alive during that time, and the frenzy over UFO sightings was through the roof. I mean, it was and there were these. We really didn't see videos because people didn't have smartphones back then, but we saw all these photographs, and it looked like what you saw, out of some of these science fiction.
Actually, they had better pictures of the UFOs years ago than do the drones now.
Yeah, and you think because of technology with smartphones and availability for everybody to basically have a video camera on them 24/7, that somebody would have taken a verifiable video of this. And you know what? That's what these articles talked about.
Russ made a comment in somebody's video. Russ 51 Drone says, "Does a single person in Jersey own a zoom lens?"
Yeah. Why haven't we seen a crisp, clear video of this?
Yeah, and he also made a comment. There's 300 million smartphones in the U.S. and not one clear, unblurry picture of these drones or video.
Yeah, it needs to be put to rest. Okay, and what we need to move on. We have other things to be concerned about here, and what they're stirring up the pot here with this. And it's not good. All right. They need to get.
Well, somebody in the chat of Drone Nation last night said on their local news, the New Jersey, and they weren't anywhere near New Jersey. The New Jersey drones made the headline over the school shooting.
Yeah, that school shooting. I think it was in Wisconsin. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where this person was, but they weren't in Wisconsin or New Jersey. But just randomly, the Jersey drones are a bigger story than school shootings.
Yeah. That's they need to address this. And if it's true that they know what this is, they need to come forth with this right away.
Maddie makes a good point about the military and flying airspace. I mean, so many people are worried about these drones flying over Air Force bases in New Jersey. The military bases, the one people that can control that is the military, right? I mean, nobody has to help the military. If they want to shoot down something flying in airspace, they will do it.
Yeah.
Right, Bill? The military
exactly.
doesn't need citizens worrying about them. They have all the capabilities to down any aircraft they want to.
Exactly. All right. Well, and one of the other things that I saw a lot of people saying, oh, these are probably military drones. And I said, well, let me tell you something. All right. Most of them, a great many of them, take off and land over in Las Vegas, over in Nevada. All right. Because they need a lot of them, some of them need long runway, and it's a desolate area. Now, when they take off, okay, they can go higher than a lot of military aircraft can go, because number one, they don't need pressurization and oxygen systems to keep a
Right.
pilot alive, because they're remotely piloted, all right, and they can literally fly around the world. They have refueling capabilities in flight. They do that. I mean, and the pilot, I mean, I watched some movies on this. They sit in that chair for 8 hours and they're flying that drone, all right? And then they get told, if there are targets that they need to investigate, they investigate them. If they're told to shoot them, they shoot them. It's been confirmed. But this happens remotely. And then, when they take off, they go right up 60, 70, 80,000 feet, Ron. They're nowhere near anybody being able to see these drones. Nowhere. They're not going to do that. The only time they get low is when they're getting ready to land.
Right, and the military drones that are designed for battle mode probably don't go around with their FAA approved lights on them.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to be doing that. So there's a lot of things to debunk a lot of what we're hearing out there, and I think the sooner that somebody comes forth, because Ron, I gotta agree with President Trump here, not politically speaking here, but I think people know what's going on. They need to come forth with this and just lay it out there and say, this is what it is, and that they're going to put an end to it. Okay. And get either the FBI or somebody else to get out there and arrest these people and stop this, because it's ridiculous.
Well, of course, if it is the government itself, there's nobody to arrest.
Right.
Again,
And I
there's so
don't
many
think
possibilities. If this is some kind of a top secret military operation that, like they talk, this is us all talk, that there's some kind of a dirty nuclear bomb here they're searching for or something like that. I understand why they can't say anything, because people already are in panic over nothing. Just think if they said there was a nuclear device or something, there would really be a panic. I mean, right now, as we always say with a lot of stuff with these drones, they're flying around. But what has a drone? Have these drones? I don't know. Have they killed anybody yet? Have they? What have they done wrong outside of fly around? I mean, they haven't crashed in anything. They haven't, crashed in somebody's living room window. I mean, basically, even if you were a local law enforcement, you went out and you found somebody flying a drone at night, even over a town or whatever. I mean, what would you charge them with? You're allowed to fly at night if you have the 3 statute mile light on top or whatever. If it's not restricted airspace, what's the police going to charge the person with?
Exactly. I mean,
they charge them with following the FAA rules.
Yeah.
And another thing, these people, they never see these drones take off and land. All consumer drones, I mean, we have good battery life now, but our drones don't fly forever. If you spotted our consumer drone, you follow it, eventually the drone will land. Yeah, these drones don't take off, don't land. Well, that's all the mothership. They're coming in from the mothership over the over the ocean or whatever. But again, these aren't consumer drones. They're flying miles off the coast, flying in, flying around, not landing. I mean, this is more like a science fiction movie than it is a couple of rogue hobbyists.
Exactly, Ron. Well, none of the pieces fit together for something like this. None of them. I mean, you're hearing from different sources. There's no real hard evidence of this. It's based on people's sightings and word of mouth, and it's just there
was one of the Facebook groups down here at the shore. A lady put in a post. She said she saw a drone. She called the police. Right, the police came out and she told them about seeing the drone, right where she saw it at. And of course, she didn't have any pictures or video or anything like that. And the police officer said, "Well, I'll file a report," right? And the lady put in her Facebook post, "He even take my name or number or whatever. I guess no report's going to be filed or whatever." Kind of upset. And the first couple comments were, "What was the police officer supposed to do? He got there. There was no drone. You had no photos, no videos. What was he going to do?"
Yeah, exactly. Well, our friend Casey Crime Fighter, he makes a great point here. We're all going to get media backlash from these crazy stories about drones when we're flying. It's like, and he's right. You're going to go to the beach. I'm going to go up to the clubhouse. Marcus is going to go out to the canyon, and people are going to be like, "You're one of those drone flyers."
Yeah. Well, luckily, a lot of us don't fly at night, so that might get us off the hook.
Right.
People are looking at night, not really looking during the day. But another thing, is probably the same thing in Florida, New Jersey, this time of year, it's a lot of festive holiday lights up, not only in people's houses, but parks, town halls, buildings like that. So a lot of people are taking drones up to get videos of these holiday lights, consumer drones. And even say people right to privacy. Well, if you decorate your house up like the Griswolds with 1 million lights, you don't expect somebody to take a picture of it?
Exactly. One of the things that we like to do here locally is to go around and see neighborhoods, who's lit up their house like the Griswolds. I mean, that's one of the things Valerie and I really enjoy doing.
And you may put the car window down and snap a cell phone picture of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the difference? You snap a cell phone picture with a drone taking a picture.
Exactly.
And nobody's gonna call the police saying, "Hey, they put their window down. They took a cell phone picture of my Christmas decoration." The police would hang up on you, right? If you called that as a crime.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're gonna keep.
Bill, the good show is going to be if this all gets settled. We know the exact reason. That's going to be the good show.
Exactly.
Whatever the reason may be, whether it's government, whether it's Iranian terrorists, whether it's the FBI or CIA. I mean, however this plays out, if we ever know, that's going to be the interesting discussion.
Well, it's like, and I saw somebody else. This is just. This was so ludicrous. It was funny. And I wanted to laugh about it everybody goes, well, they kept the secret for JFK's assassination for like 60 years. And now since everybody's passed away, they can exactly reveal what really happened during his assassination.
And they still don't.
And they haven't. They still haven't done that. So
say that a couple years ago when that senator from PA died, he was the last guy on that committee or whatever. The secret probably died with him.
Yep, gone, and that's it. And you know what? Here's what I think is. What I think is going to happen. All right, we're going to move forward. We're going to get past the holidays. We'll get into January. We'll have inauguration and everything. And you know what? This will just quietly go away.
I think 6 months from now, this will be, remember those drones back in
remember the New Jersey drones? And everybody goes, what?
Oh, no, or somebody say, oh, yeah, I do remember those drones. Whatever happened?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, whatever happened to all those drones?
Yeah, whatever happened to all the drones in New Jersey? Well, you know what? We're going to talk about something good here.
No, I certainly hope they don't fly down to Florida for the South Florida drone meetup.
Yeah, we don't want them down. We don't want them down South Florida drone meetup. Beach. Now, our buddy Jasper has been super busy.
I mean, man, he really has been.
Absolutely super busy here. And some more pictures, as you can see right here, of the reported Mavic 4 right here.
Yes.
And then he has a picture of the DJI 4 Air unit.
And don't pass up, he supposedly has a new controller up there in that one picture.
And yep, that new controller supposedly is up here. And then the folded up version, this is too funny, okay? The folded up version of the Flip right here, and it looks like one of the AT-ATs, I think is what they were called.
Yeah, the walkers from Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, we'll be calling that the Empire Strikes Back drone, huh?
Yeah, really. I mean,
I'm going to get mine signed by Harrison Ford and what's Luke Skywalker.
Yep, Mark Hamill. Yep.
Right now.
And then he also reported prices for the Flip. And again, these are in euro. DJI Flip without remote, $439. DJI Flip plus RC2, €639. DJI Flip Flymore combo, $779. Remote control, spare batteries, and carrying case.
So it's kind of like buying almost like the pricing of I don't know, like a Mini4 or Mini3 or whatever, up the line there.
Mm-hmm. And then lo and behold, he says right here, I've been extremely skeptical towards the release of a DJI Mini 5. I couldn't find any reason why they should update the Mini 4 without exceeding the 249 gram mark. Today I stand corrected. This summer we will see a new Mini with LiDAR and stronger vented motors. Cheers.
So you think the original thought that the Flip was replacing the Mini is now not valid, huh?
No, it's not valid. I think the Flip is, it's an upgrade from the Neo. Is what I think it is. I think it.
Can I? This is totally unsubstantiated, but I got a little birdie told me, and the little birdie's initials are JE. He told me this is hearsay. He has no hard facts on this, but he thinks the Neo 2 will be released the same time the Mini 5 is next summer.
Good grief! That's just wow.
But that again, wow. That's totally unconfirmed or whatever.
Totally unconfirmed.
Hearsay. Okay. He called it hearsay.
Yeah. So
I mean, so we're not. So if that's right, so we're going to have 2 new lines of drone that are going to stick. I thought, kind of same as many people, I thought the Neo would be a one and done, kind of like the Tello or the Spark, or whatever. But apparently not so. So there'll be a Neo and a Flip, which is kind of the same drone. I mean, the Neo being a pro version of the Neo in a way. But I mean, we have a whole new category of drones, and now we have 2 of them.
Well, and we talked about this when we had Rick on last week. When DJI gets into something, they don't go into it 3/4. They don't do 75%. I mean, they're in it 100% up to their ears. Okay. And, we talked about, the power banks, for example, here they are doing power banks, and they're doing them well. DJI mic, something completely different, completely out of their realm. Nothing with video, all audio here, and they're kicking it. They're knocking it out of the park with this. And
you would thought though that I said with the Neo, rather than do this, that they would just maybe made the Neo put a better camera on it, charge a little bit more for it, maybe figure out how to get folding rather than have 2 different drones.
Yep. They could have done that. And the popularity
the
of
Neo
it
still would have sold well if it was $299, right? If it had a camera and folded, it was $299. It would still sell like hotcakes, right?
Exactly, Ron. And the point is, there was a point in time up until about a couple weeks ago that you couldn't buy a Neo. You had to wait. I mean,
it still comes and goes. Sometimes it's available on Amazon, sometimes it's not.
Yeah. It's just, who knows?
You think it is selling like hotcakes? They didn't make enough of them.
Yeah. I think both. I think they underestimated how well this is doing, because I know videos out there, and I'm getting ready to get my first video out on it. The videos have really taken off. If you look at views on videos for the Neo, they're really consistent, and people are really watching these videos. They really like it.
Yeah. Neo video does better than any video you can put up. Yeah.
Well, sure. And Marcus is right. The other thing that Marcus has always said is, videos about the Mini, they will always do better than like even an Air3S or a Mavic 3 Pro.
If you're trying to get views on your channel, getting the Mavic 4 is not really going to help. You could just get the Flip will get you more videos on YouTube than making a Mavic 4 video.
Exactly, Ron. Exactly. So, what I want to do right now is this, and this is what we're going to do.
Hey, real quick before you move on, Bill, before you move on to the holiday guide, you mentioned about these drones. Did you hear that? Have you been following the story of Al Cicerone from the South Florida drone meetup?
Yes. Al has been messaging me.
He ordered an Air3S or whatever, and it's got stuck in customs in Miami, and they want him to pay like $400 duty on it and whatever. And then he ordered a DJI told him to order a second one. It's a big mess. And I know customs in Miami is tougher. That's where Ken Dono's drone got hung up to. They're a little tougher than some other places. But I mean, for all these new drones coming out, is this the new normal?
Yeah, and I told Al, I told him, I said, we were chatting, and I'm like, I realize it's like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this is happening, because, Ron, we've never, up until this point in time, really, since we've been covering drones, we've never really seen problems like this, where they've been literally.
I had a Hudson drone got stuck in customs in someplace in the South. Like it may have been Hobson Zeno 2 Pro or something like that, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But I saw it get hung up for a couple of days. But that may be the only time.
I think the only experience I've had is when I had to ship one of my PME drones back to China.
Mm-hmm.
When filling out that paperwork, it took me like 3 hours to fill out that paperwork for customs, which was ridiculous. And then it did get hung up for a day or two going back to China. All right. And, I just threw my hands up and said, I did everything I could and I did everything right. So, but
so just, and of course the Neo may be with the Air3S never being sold at a U.S. retailer. Maybe the Neo is the last drone to ever be sold by a U.S. retailer. DJI drone.
Possible too. That's possible too.
Oh, there he is, just in time for the Christmas list.
Did I hear Neo?
Yes, that could be who knows, that could be Marcus's Christmas list pick.
I flew that little sucker today.
Yeah, how'd it do?
Not too bad. I don't want to derail any conversation.
What about the Christmas part of the show here? Chris's list. Do you want Marcus to save his news story when he recommends it as a Christmas drone, or do it now? Bill?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, why don't we? Because we're gonna get into this here in just a minute. So if you got something to say about the Neo, we'll be there in a minute.
Well, I flew it today. It's the first time I've flown it since that last firmware update.
Okay.
That allows you to control the drone in landscape mode rather than vertical mode. But I discovered some things. The controls are different. When you're in vertical mode, flying it with the phone, you get the little sticks. You can just tap on each corner and get it to do whatever it did. And it actually feels pretty good. It flies. It's there. I'm trying to think of I hesitate to call it precise, but you can control it fairly good. Now, when you put it in that landscape mode, those controls are different. Like you said, Ron, you've got to move the little center dot around like a joystick, right? But what I found is it was a lot less, at least for me, felt a lot less precise. So I was more comfortable flying it with the phone in vertical mode than landscape.
Very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. That's good. So those of you that are going to be looking at the Neo, that's something you need to take into account. Now, what we're going to do here, I have a detailed guide we're going to go through here in a minute. But one of the things that I want to share here was Drone DJ had an article out, and the article is called 7 DJI drones you can still get before Christmas. Okay. Now this is purely on their part. Okay. DJI Neo, named one of the best inventions of 2024. DJI Mini4 Pro, compact yet mighty. DJI Mini4 Pro. DJI Avata 2, DJI Mavic 3 Pro, DJI FPV Explorer combo, DJI Mavic Air 2 Fly More combo. Wow. Okay. That kind of surprised me. All right. Now the gist of this whole article and what they're talking about is that these drones are available. All right. Now notice one of the drones that they did not say here, the DJI Air3S was not mentioned in the list here. Okay. That was just, I found that to be very interesting here. Okay.
Maybe because they don't have an affiliate link for it because you can't get it anywhere but DJI.
That may be possible, Ron. That may be possible here. I gotta find that link here. So give me a second. Let's see where.
Well, they're pretty good drones in that list.
Yeah, those are some good drones on that list.
They're all good. Hey, Bill, did you see Casey Crime Fighter's last? Let's see. Yeah, his last comment there.
No, let me take a look and see.
Yeah, I think it's worth posting.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know why they did that. It's plenty of bad fuzzy fake drone shots out there you could use.
Yeah. Well, what I will say is at least they reported. They say, instead of denying it, like Fox News would never back off of something like that. They'd say, "Oh no, it's real."
All right, we're going to go
until you
ahead
get sued
here.
for almost $1 billion.
Yeah.
Now, I put together this guide here, and the first thing that I wanted to go over here, 3 questions you need to answer. Now, this is whether or not you're buying a drone for somebody or you're looking to purchase one yourself. Now, the first one is, what is your budget? And I think that's something that everybody, that's one of the first questions. When I get questions asked me via email or chat, all right, but my response back are these 3 questions. The first one is, what is your budget? How much are you wanting to spend? Number 2, what's your experience level? Are you a complete newbie, or have you had some experience with it? Where do you stand as far as that's concerned? And then the last one, what is your goal? And what I mean by that, are you just going to be a recreational user and just, do some selfies with this? Or are you going to be someone that wants to go out and go to old abandoned buildings and shoot panoramas of them? And, or are you someone that wants to maybe think about getting a Part 107? What is your goal with something like this? Do you want to be, a semi-professional? Do you want to be a professional? Where are you at with all of this? I think these are 3 questions that I look to ask people when they're asking me, can you help me in terms of buying a drone? Because, when you answer these 3 questions, I can better be able to tell you what drones may be right for you. What do you guys think about this?
That's basic things. If you're buying somebody for the Christmas and you're not worried about them knowing what you're getting them, this is a good place to start. Yeah,
that's a good place to start. What I get all the time is I'll get a comment on a video that'll say, well, should I buy the DJI Mini4 Pro or the FIMI Mini 3? And it just drives me crazy, because without knowing what they want to do with the drone, like you said right here, Bill, what is their budget? What is their experience level? And so I'll be honest with you. I usually just say, hey, I just don't, I very seldom do I ever answer those kind of comments. I just tell them, hey, just go out and watch a bunch of videos and figure out what works best for you.
And Bill, the tough one is question 1 here. What is your budget? Because you get somebody that they'll say my budget's $100, right? Well, then I really don't have anything to recommend for them or whatever. Maybe get something else besides a drone for the person then, because for $100 you're going to get something that's probably not going to last much beyond the Christmas holiday.
So I say the same thing. I tell people the same thing. If you can't spend $300 on a drone, depending on what's on sale at the time, $200 to $300, what you're going to get is a toy that is not going to be reliable. Yeah, maybe you can fly it, but trust me, by the end of Christmas Day, it'll be up in a tree someplace.
Mm-hmm. Or indoors, directed to a wall or something like that.
Right.
Hey, if you don't have $100, maybe consider getting an RC car instead.
Exactly, Ron. That's a good point. One of the other things that I didn't mention in here, and this is something that I do when I get these questions asked of me, if people have persisted, and what I tell them to do, email me at buildadronereviewer@gmail.com. That way I take it offline, and people, I'm not having this lengthy discussion in the comments section on a video. All right. Because I don't want to confuse other people, and I want to be able to answer that person's question. So a lot of times they will email me, which is good. Okay. So that's where I want to go.
Okay.
Well, Bill, what I worry about too is.
Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry, Ron.
Go ahead.
Somebody chooses a drone that I say, okay, go buy the Mini 4K or whatever, and then they get it and they're mad because it doesn't have waypoints or something like that. I don't want to be responsible for that. So I'm not going to tell anybody what to buy.
And the experience thing there too, Bill. The problem is too the experience. Like Marcus and I, we recommend a lot. Oh, get the Mini 4K or whatever. But the experience. What if the person already has a DJI Mini 2? Well, the Mini 4K will be the same thing. If they already have a drone like the Mini 2, then you want to recommend drones like the Air or something like that. Drones are a step up, not like a equal footing drone or a step down.
Now, see, and I'll use this for an example. My manager's a great guy, and based on my advice, he got a Mini 4K, which is perfect for him.
Oh yeah,
What he wants for he rents out his former house, okay? And it has a flat roof up there. It's a 2-story. And in order to check that roof, he would need to climb a ladder and go up there all the time.
Right.
And based on his needs, I gave him a list of 2 or 3 drones that I think would meet your needs. And I told him, I said, this is your price level on these drones here. All right. And then when the Mini 4K got on sale, and I told him, I said, I think this is a drone you probably ought to consider buying because it's just such a super great price. And he did. And he's been very pleased. He made a good decision. Now,
that was a good call because he won't outgrow that drone quickly either, Bill.
No, he won't, because he's using it exactly what it's intended for. And it's already, what the good thing for him is it sparked an interest in wanting to get a Part 107. So he's already, I gave him some references in terms of, especially I said, Remote Pilot 101 is probably the way to go for you. Because I know, he and I, we sync up real well. Okay. We're on the same page. And because people in his neighborhood asked him, after the hurricane, can you fly over my house? And I told him, I said, technically, you can't do that unless you're a Part 107. I said, even if I'm not getting compensated, even if you're not getting compensated, you have to have a Part 107 to do that. All right. And then, we got into discussions regarding liability, and he has an LLC already set up. So, he's a step ahead of the game. But we're going to move on.
Some drives asking, does he have a Part 107 for the roof inspection? You just talked about that, Bill.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
So you guys have heard one of Bob Dempsey's favorite stories. He sees a guy in his neighborhood doing roof inspections with a drone, right? I'm sure it's probably insurance work or something like that. So, Bob, he wanted to go up and just say hi to the guy and, how you doing or whatever. The guy lands the drone. Guess what he was doing roof inspections with? It was a Holy Stone drone.
Oh my gosh.
That this guy was doing professional work with.
David, Part 107?
Who knows? I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, again, whoever's doing the roof inspections, they're not on site or whatever. They don't know if he's flying a Holy Stone or a DJI Inspire.
Yeah, I wonder about resolution though. But anyway,
usually people like that, they only want like 1080p anyways.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
Because remember, those guys, you don't need the crop punch in; they just get close.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's still kind of ironic. But we'll let Bill get back to his holiday guide here. He's got the Neo up now.
The Neo, it's from ranges in price from $199 to $289. Features 4K video, multiple control options, hand takeoff and landing, and internal storage in there. Recommendations are, DJI touts this as a vlogging tool, and they recommend that you be 16 and over to get something like this.
And a lot of people don't realize, you need a smartphone, and a tablet won't work. It needs to be a smartphone with a cellular connection to activate that drone.
Exactly. That's a good point.
So if you give it to somebody like a kid or whatever, has to get that he doesn't have somebody to help him. Well, I know every kid has a smartphone now, but I guess you definitely keep in mind, because I know G-Man, we had a lengthy conversation about this or whatever, that because I think he flies with all tablets that don't have that, so
that's a good point.
But again, and this is a beginner drone, but it's a strange beginner drone, because if your main focus isn't vlogging or whatever, then I don't know if that is the best drone to begin with, because it's for a little bit more you can get a much better camera drone with the Mini 4K. And again, if your primary concern is vlogging and the drone following behind you, then maybe so. But if your primary concern is camera drone type of features, then I don't know about this.
Right. And I think it's a price leader for DJI. I mean, $199 is going to be attractive, and it's going to pull a lot of people in. And
if you want to, once you add a controller, if you're a controller person, then you're above the price of the Mini 4K.
Exactly. And then
that's the next. If you got all the FPV gear, you're way above $500.
Right, and that's the next drone on the list is the Mini 4K. Yes. Ranges from $299 up to $449 with all the other options. under 249 grams, 4K video, 10-kilometer video transmission range, 31-minute flight time, quick shots and panoramas. And like I said in the recommendations, it has quality video, and obviously for 16 and over. And it's going from you're going from a Neo, which is really just a very basic vlogging type of tool, to something that is really more of what we consider like the beginning point of drones is concerned.
A real camera drone.
Can I describe the Neo a little bit differently, Bill?
Go ahead.
I would say it's someplace between a real drone and a toy. I wouldn't call it a toy, but I'm not going to call it a real drone like I would this Mini 4K either. It's kind of out there and kind of in the middle there someplace.
Yeah, it's a good follow me drone, and it's a not so good camera drone, and not so good FPV drone.
But it's an all around drone. It does a lot of stuff. So
it does a lot, but what master of none in a lot of cases though.
Absolutely, Ron.
Except for the following part, the following and vlogging part. Then it's the top of the line DJI for things like that.
We're going to go ahead and go on to the next one here, and it's the Mini 4 Pro. Now, I skipped over the Mini 3 because availability issues. I know DJI's had some issues with that right now, but I wanted to go to the Mini 4 Pro because it's still the basic drone itself's under $1,000. It's $759 to $1,159 with everything with it, up to 45 minutes of flight time, 4K 60 frames per second video, true vertical shooting with this, obstacle avoidance, active track 360, multiple controller options with this. And this is really truly the DJI's entry level into what I would consider professional quality.
No, I can vouch for this drone. This is a drone. Who said this is a drone flyer's drone?
If it was the only drone I ever owned, I'd be happy as a clam.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You nailed it, Marcus. It really is. It does everything, and it does it so well. And, it just, how can you not like this drone? It really does what you need. And it really is. It really, what I would consider the beginnings of a professional type of drone.
Yeah.
And
if you go straight and buy this, you don't say, you don't have to waste $199 Neo and realize it's not enough a drone for you. You don't have to keep buying drones over again. If you buy this thing, you're probably set for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's earned that pro moniker. There's no question about it. The other thing is that it's feature rich. It has all the features of DJI's more expensive, bigger drones.
And one of the other things too with something like this, and this is something for those of you out there who are seasoned drone flyers, and if you don't have a Mini 4 Pro, say for example, all right, you can buy the stock unit, the base unit, $759. All right. And if you have that controller that goes with it with another one of your drones, it'll pair up with it. So you don't have to go out there and buy that controller and spend that money, which is, I think it's around $300 to get one of them. You don't have to do that. You can get the base model and still have that capability and that features with this. And, buying individual batteries really isn't that expensive. So, don't always be sucked in by having to get the Fly More combo unless you really want to do that. All right. This is a drone that I almost always would recommend to somebody. And it really helps lead on to bigger and better things like the Air 3. All right.
Yeah.
In the Air 3, it really was a groundbreaking type of drone. All right. Starting out at $1,099 to $1,549. Now, pay attention because coming up, I know DJI said, I think December, I think maybe tomorrow or the next day, it's going to be on sale again. I think for the Christmas season. So
and you can actually order this one on Amazon and the other sites, right? Unlike the Air3S, this one you can still get from U.S. retailers.
And it has incredible features on here. 46 minutes of flight time, wide angle camera, 3x medium telecamera, 48 megapixel photos, 4K 60 frames per second HDR videos, omnidirectional obstacle sensing, HD 04 HD video transmission, 20-kilometer max range. And as I said, complete feature set for serious video.
And what the spec sheet doesn't tell you is, if you have problems with your mini drones in the wind, this drone solves all that wind issues.
Exactly. You have no problems flying this drone on a windy day whatsoever. It
This
really
is kind of like almost like the Corvette of drones, right, Marcus? Is they can haul the mail.
It can haul the mail. I describe the way these DJI Air 3 and the Air3S fly as athletic. It has a 10 meters per second ascent and descent speed, which is fast. That's about over 20 miles an hour. So when you pull down on the downstick with this drone, it's dropping like a rock. Conversely, when you hit the upstick, it's feels more like an FPV drone. It's heading for the air.
Marcus, remember the saying butter? It's like butter.
That's what iPhone does said, huh?
Yeah, it's like butter.
It's butter, he said.
it's butter. Well, here's the Air3S, and it's priced similarly to the Air 3 right now. Having some incredible feature set on there, including LiDAR. And if you want to go find out what LiDAR is all about, watch last week's episode with Rick, because he just, Marcus asked the question and Rick answered it, and it was fantastic. I absolutely love that. If you want to find out a lot about a lot of these drones, please go back and watch last week's episode. I can't say that enough.
Yeah, if you don't think LiDAR helps, Marcus and I can tell you, Bill, this is the best return to home drone I've ever seen, right, Marcus?
It's amazing.
Not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close. That next gen smart return to home with enhanced precision, the LiDAR on it, the camera. I mean, it really is a complete feature set. And the only drone that is better than that is the Mavic.
We forgot one small thing, though, Bill. Though, don't order it if it's got to come through Miami Customs.
Yeah, that's another thing. Getting it through Miami Customs is something else. And then Mavic 3 Pro is in a class by itself. Okay,
boy, the big boy.
The 70 millimeter telecamera, 160 millimeter telecamera, 5.1K, 50 frames per second, and 4K, 120 frames per second. 43 minutes of flight time, omnidirectional optical sensing, 15-kilometer HD video transmission. I mean, this is a professional videographer's drone. I mean,
love that drone.
Yeah. There's absolutely no question about that as far as who this drone is destined for. Now, I also wanted to talk about the Avata 2 just a little bit, because I know a lot of people would have said, we didn't talk about the Avata 2. So I got the Avata 2.
The Avata 2, Bill.
And it ranges in price from $999 to $1199. It features FPV flight experience, easy acro, tight shots, and super wide 4K, 1 1/3 inch image sensor, built-in propeller guard. It has turtle mode, binocular fisheye visual positioning, one tap sky VFX, and it's an easy to use.
What's one tap sky VFX? Do we know?
I just got it out of the feature set.
The binocular thing's the ability to see out of the goggles, right? To see what's in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what that one tap sky thing is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. But I wanted to get this out here as an option, because I know a lot of people would have asked about it.
And of course, now Easy Acro even has that what do you call that fancy flip when it goes all the way around?
Power loop.
Power loop. It's power looping now, Bill.
Power loop. There you go. Now, I wanted to throw up here honorable mentions for the Specta Mini and the Specta Air. And one thing I wanted to note, I did tell everybody last week or maybe a couple of weeks ago that batteries were going to be available starting December 25th out on Amazon. Well, right now, both the Mini and the Air are not showing as available out on Amazon right now. And, one of the things that I wanted to, let me get back here. Get that up again. Okay. And I wanted to say right now, I think they're probably restocking. So be watching on December 25th.
Well, no wonder that Specta Mini is not available at $219. It probably blew off the shelf, Bill.
Oh, it did, because I had so many people, and I don't really keep track as closely as I should of what I sell through Amazon, but I went through some of my history. I had so many people buy the Specta Mini because of the video I put out about it. And the number one question I've been getting is batteries for both the Mini and the Air, and that should be addressed coming up here shortly on December 25th is what my contact from Cojito told me, that they'll be there. And I think you'll see the same thing as well as far as the drones themselves. I think they'll be available on those dates as well. So I think that's where we're at.
And the Cohita drones have they have no trouble selling with the big box retailers either, right?
Well, Amazon's the only place you can buy them right now.
Okay.
Right now. So that's where
Okay.
they're at. Now, that's the number one question that I get as far as after sales service. And the guy, my contact with Cohito says, you need to email after-sales@cohito.com, and they will get you taken care of if you have an issue. They will address it right then and there. That's the support system.
And let's be honest with the folks, not too many $219 drones offer much support.
Right. And it's basically a mini 4K is what it is. And the Specta Air is basically an Air 3. I mean, really, for all intents and purposes, this is where that's at. So want to make sure that everybody knows next 2 weeks, we're going to have pre-recorded shows on. We got like the best drones of 2024 coming up next week. It's a pre-recorded show. And then the week after that, I have another one. Now I have it set up on StreamYard, so it'll come out and you'll be able to chat next week. And it's in the next 2 weeks. So you can go in and enjoy the chat. Next week, I won't be a part of the chat because I'll be having a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old granddaughter on my lap and reading to them the Christmas story. So I'm looking forward to that very much so. So any closing thoughts for you guys before we wrap things up here?
Happy holidays to everybody. We're coming up on Christmas real quick. There's not going to be a Drone Nation next Monday either, Bill, but you will have a pre-recorded show. There will be Drone Seekers on Sunday night. Or Sunday afternoon. I'm not sure I'll be there because I'll be traveling in Oregon, but yeah, the holidays are upon us. So I am wishing that everybody gets that drone that they wanted under your Christmas tree.
There you go. Thank you, Marcus. And maybe Marcus, I can pre-record a short Christmas thing to throw in that time slot next Monday night before you go to Oregon. Who knows, right?
That's not a bad idea.
Could happen. So we did talk about the DJI Action 6, the strangest release ever. It got FCC approved just recently, and we just had the 5 Pro. But Lauren made a great comment in chat last night. He said the Action 6 could be the 360 camera coming. That's been rumored for months now, Bill. So
that's incredible.
Keep that in mind. And you talked about some products. Even though this is the end of the year, it sounds like DJI, we got a whole bunch of products coming out real, if not before the holidays, right after the holidays. So Bill, January is usually a boring month in our business, but maybe this year it won't be so boring.
I don't think it will be. I think you're right, Ron. I really think you're right here.
So so my last closing thought is, Bill, you were spot on your prediction about the Steelers are going to have a little trouble in Philly last week.
Oh, I could have told you that with my hands tied.
But they played tough in the first half, though.
Yeah. Then they here's a telltale stat.
Well, Tomlin must have not been on top of his halftime adjustments.
Do you know how many this is the total number of plays in the second half? The Eagles had 47. The Steelers had 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about ball management and all that or whatever? Time of possession. Yeah.
Well, the other thing was, they're in the fourth quarter. They're in Eagles territory. And what does Tomlin do on fourth down? He punts. He doesn't go for it.
Right.
Well, I'm going to close with this here, and I'm going to read part of the Christmas story because we really want and need peace on earth, and I think this is how it begins here, and I'm going to read part of the story here. And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior who has been born, who is Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in clothes and lying in a manger." Suddenly, a great company of the heavenly host appeared with the angel, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace on those on whom his favor rests. I wanted to do that because I think, sometimes we kind of really lose perspective in terms of what Christmas is all about. And I think when we read that story, that's what Christmas is all about. And to me, we need each other, okay, on this planet Earth, okay. We are just too many of us have angst, and we need to get rid of that angst, and we need to appreciate our friends and family for who they are, and just enjoy them. And my wish for all of you is safe travels, good health, very blessed holiday with friends, family, and loved ones. Don't eat too much, but if you do, you were warned. No, I hope you get what you want. And for me, what I want this year, I want good health, because I was sick as a dog last year at Christmas. So I went to the doctors today preventatively because Valerie was sick, and they tested me for everything, and I was fine today, which was good. I was happy about that. And they gave me something preventative wise, antibiotics, so I'm all squared away, because I want to be healthy for our granddaughters and my daughter and son-in-law coming down. So we got all that squared away. I hope all of you have a great Merry Christmas and a very blessed and Happy New Year. And we will see you live starting in January 2025, season 8 of Rotor Talk Live. That's just absolutely insane.
Wow.
And I want to thank my two right hand men right here, literally, Ron and Marcus. These guys, they're the best of the best. And I want you guys get that every week from us. And I want to make sure that you continue to do that. And we will do that in 2025. You will get the best from us because you deserve nothing less. You guys are the best. We love you all. We thank you all so much. And hopefully we can see many of you at the South Florida Drone Meetup. There's a plug for you, Captain Ray. So As always, it's a great day to fly. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and see you in 2025. Take care, everybody.
Happy holidays.